Most men over 60 accept prostate issues as an inevitable part of aging. However, some research suggests that a simple exercise routine performed regularly in the morning may support prostate health and improve quality of life. The morning alarm sounds, and for many men over 60, the first thought is often not about the day ahead, but rather a more immediate concern: the urgent need to visit the bathroom. This familiar scenario plays out for millions of older men worldwide, with frequent urination, nighttime awakenings, and various degrees of discomfort becoming an accepted part of the aging experience. Prostate health issues affect an estimated 50% of men by age 60, and up to 90% of men by age 85. These statistics have led many to believe that prostate challenges are simply unavoidable, an inevitable tax that time collects from the male body. This acceptance often leads to a passive approach, where men either silently endure the symptoms or rely solely on medications to manage them. But what if this passive acceptance isn't entirely necessary? What if certain proactive measures, particularly specific movement patterns performed at the right time of day, could potentially influence prostate health and the symptoms that affect quality of life? This question has gained attention from researchers studying the connection between physical activity and prostate health. While no movement routine can guarantee to prevent or cure prostate conditions, emerging evidence suggests that certain exercises, particularly when performed consistently as part of a morning routine, may offer supportive benefits that complement medical care. I'm Dr. Rachel Thompson, and for over 25 years, I've specialized in preventive health approaches for aging adults. I've observed how specific movement patterns appear to influence various aspects of health, including prostate function. Today, I'll share a 7-minute morning movement routine that research suggests might support prostate health in men over 60. Before we explore this routine, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Each week, we share evidence-based approaches for healthy aging that focus on practical, accessible strategies. And if you're concerned about prostate health, type vitality in the comments below. I read every comment and appreciate understanding your specific interests. Let's begin by understanding why morning movement may be particularly beneficial for prostate health. The prostate gland is highly vascular, meaning it contains a rich network of blood vessels. Optimal blood flow to and around this gland appears to be important for maintaining its health and function. Morning movement, performed after hours of relative immobility during sleep, may help enhance circulation to the pelvic region, potentially supporting prostate health. Additionally, the prostate gland is surrounded by muscles, particularly the pelvic floor muscles. These muscles play important roles in urinary function and control. Targeted exercises that engage and strengthen these muscles may help support better urinary function, potentially reducing some common prostate-related symptoms. Finally, certain movement patterns may help reduce inflammation throughout the body, including potentially in the prostate region. Chronic inflammation is thought to play a role in various prostate conditions, so movements that may help moderate inflammatory processes could potentially offer supportive benefits. The 7-minute routine I'm about to share targets these three aspects: circulation, muscle function, and inflammation moderation, through specific movement patterns that research suggests might benefit prostate health. This routine is designed to be performed shortly after waking, ideally before breakfast, when the body may be particularly responsive to movement after the overnight period of immobility. The routine consists of 3 distinct components, each taking approximately 2 to 3 minutes, for a total of 7 minutes. These movements are generally gentle and adaptable for most fitness levels, though as with any exercise program, it's advisable to consult with healthcare providers before beginning, particularly for those with existing health conditions. Let's start with the first component: pelvic floor engagement and release. This sequence targets the muscles that support the prostate and play key roles in urinary function. Begin by sitting on the edge of a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor, approximately hip-width apart. Sit tall with your spine elongated, shoulders relaxed, and hands resting on your thighs. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Now imagine you're trying to stop the flow of urine or prevent passing gas. The muscles you engage to do this are your pelvic floor muscles. Gently contract these muscles, lifting them inward and upward. Hold this contraction for 3 to 5 seconds while continuing to breathe normally, then completely release. The key here is not maximal contraction but rather conscious engagement followed by complete release. Many men, particularly those with prostate issues, develop patterns of chronic tension in the pelvic floor, which can actually worsen symptoms. This exercise aims to develop both control and relaxation of these important muscles. Perform 10 repetitions of this engagement and release pattern, focusing on the quality of both the contraction and the relaxation phases. As you become more familiar with the exercise, try to isolate the pelvic floor muscles without tensing your abdomen, buttocks, or thighs. Robert, a 73-year-old who had been experiencing increased urinary frequency, incorporated this pelvic floor component into his morning routine. I was skeptical at first, he shared, but after about 3 weeks of daily practice, I noticed I wasn't getting up as many times during the night. It wasn't a miracle cure, but the improvement was definitely noticeable and meaningful for my quality of life. Many men initially find it challenging to identify and engage their pelvic floor muscles correctly. A helpful approach for those having difficulty is to try stopping the flow of urine midstream once or twice during a bathroom visit. This can help identify the correct muscles, though this practice should only be used occasionally for learning purposes, not as a regular exercise. Another common challenge is maintaining relaxation in surrounding muscles while engaging the pelvic floor. Some men find that placing a hand lightly on their abdomen helps them notice if they're tensing these muscles inadvertently. The goal is to develop the ability to engage and release the pelvic floor specifically, without creating tension patterns elsewhere in the body. For men who find the seated position uncomfortable, this component can be practiced lying down with knees bent and feet flat on the floor or bed. The same principles apply: gentle engagement followed by complete release, regardless of position. The second component focuses on hip mobility and circulation to the pelvic region. These movements aim to enhance blood flow to the area, while releasing tension in the muscles and tissues surrounding the prostate. Begin by standing behind a sturdy chair or counter that you can hold for balance. Start with gentle hip circles. Place your hands on the support surface, stand on one leg, and make slow, deliberate circles with the other leg, as if tracing a circle with your knee. Perform 10 circles in each direction, then switch legs and repeat. Next, perform standing knee-to-chest movements. Holding your support, lift one knee toward your chest, hold briefly, then lower it. Repeat 5 times with each leg, focusing on a gentle stretch in the hip and lower back with each repetition. Finally, practice standing hip hinges. With knees slightly bent, hinge forward from your hips while maintaining a flat back, as if reaching your buttocks backward. Return to standing by engaging your glutes and hamstrings. Perform 10 repetitions of this movement, focusing on the sensation in your lower back, hamstrings, and pelvic floor. These hip mobility exercises help address a common issue for men with prostate concerns: tension and restricted movement in the pelvic region. Chronic sitting, stress, and protective postures adopted in response to discomfort can create patterns of tension that may potentially affect blood flow and contribute to symptoms. William, a 68-year-old with mild prostate enlargement, found the hip mobility component particularly beneficial. After sitting at a desk for 40 years, my hips were incredibly tight, he explained. These morning movements helped me feel less restricted in that whole area. Over time, I noticed less discomfort when sitting and a general improvement in my symptoms. My doctor was surprised by the positive changes in my annual exam. Hip mobility tends to decrease significantly with age, particularly in men who spend much of their time sitting. This decreased mobility can potentially affect blood flow patterns and create compensatory tension in the pelvic region. The hip mobility component of this routine specifically targets this common issue. For those with more significant mobility limitations, these exercises can be modified. Hip circles can be performed seated, moving one knee outward in a circular pattern while seated on a firm chair. Knee-to-chest movements can be done lying on a bed, bringing one knee toward the chest with hands supporting behind the thigh. Hip hinges can be practiced as gentle forward leans while seated on the edge of a chair. The goal remains the same across all variations, creating gentle movement that enhances circulation to the pelvic region, while reducing patterns of tension that may affect prostate comfort and function. The third component of the routine focuses on overall circulation and anti-inflammatory movement. This sequence uses dynamic, flowing movements to enhance blood flow throughout the body, including the pelvic region. Begin in a standing position with feet approximately shoulder width apart. Perform gentle arm circles, making backward circles with both arms simultaneously. Start with small circles and gradually increase the size if comfortable. Complete 10 large circles, focusing on deep breathing throughout. Next, practice gentle torso rotations. Standing with feet planted and knees slightly bent, extend your arms out to the sides at shoulder height. Slowly rotate your upper body to the right, then to the left, allowing your head to follow the movement. Perform 10 rotations to each side, breathing deeply as you move. Finally, complete the sequence with standing forward bend variations. With feet hip-width apart, bend your knees slightly and hinge forward from your hips, allowing your arms to hang toward the floor. Only go as far as is comfortable. This isn't about touching your toes, but rather creating a gentle stretch and enhancing circulation. Hold for a few breaths, then slowly roll up to standing one vertebra at a time. Repeat this flowing movement 5 times. These full-body movements help promote general circulation, which may indirectly support prostate health. Additionally, gentle dynamic movement has been associated with reduced inflammatory markers in some research, potentially creating a more favorable internal environment for prostate health. James, a 75-year-old who had been managing prostate issues for several years, incorporated this full routine into his mornings. What surprised me most was how this simple routine seemed to affect my energy levels throughout the day, he shared. I expected it might help with my prostate symptoms, which it did to some degree, but I didn't anticipate feeling more energetic overall. That's been a welcome side benefit. For men with balance concerns, these movements can be adapted. Arm circles can be performed while seated. Torso rotations can be done in a chair with a supportive back. Forward bends can be modified as seated forward leans, reaching hands toward ankles while sitting on a chair's edge. As with all components of this routine, the emphasis is on gentle, flowing movement rather than achieving any particular range of motion. The breath plays an important role in this component. Deep, diaphragmatic breathing helps enhance the circulatory benefits of the movements and may help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest branch that supports recovery and potentially helps moderate inflammation. Focusing on slow, deep breaths throughout these movements may amplify their potential benefits. When performed together, these 3 components, pelvic floor engagement, hip mobility, and circulatory movement, create a comprehensive approach to potentially supporting prostate health through movement. The entire routine takes just 7 minutes, but addresses multiple factors that research suggests may influence prostate function and related symptoms. It's important to emphasize that this movement routine is not presented as a replacement for medical care or prescribed treatments for prostate conditions. Rather, it may serve as a complementary approach that some men find helpful alongside appropriate medical care. Always consult with healthcare providers about any prostate health concerns and before beginning new exercise routines. Consistency appears to be key with this approach. The men I've worked with who reported the most significant benefits typically perform this routine at least 5 mornings per week, with improvements often developing gradually over several weeks or months of regular practice. For many men, making this routine a habitual part of each morning proves more sustainable than attempting longer, less frequent sessions. The brevity of the routine, just 7 minutes, helps overcome the common barrier of time constraints. Many men find it practical to perform these movements immediately after their morning bathroom visit and before breakfast, creating a natural place for the routine in their daily schedule. Some men find it helpful to track their symptoms and any changes they notice after beginning this routine. A simple journal noting urinary frequency, nighttime awakenings, and comfort levels can help identify patterns and potential improvements that might otherwise go unnoticed amid the gradual nature of change. Beyond this specific movement routine, several lifestyle factors may further support prostate health. Maintaining adequate hydration while managing fluid intake timing can help address urinary symptoms. Many men find that reducing evening fluid consumption, particularly in the 2 hours before bedtime, helps decrease nighttime urination frequency without compromising overall hydration. Dietary choices may also influence prostate health. Some research suggests that a diet rich in colorful vegetables, particularly those containing lycopene, found in tomatoes, especially when cooked, and plant-based foods may support prostate health. Similarly, foods containing zinc, such as pumpkin seeds and certain seafood, provide nutrients that play roles in prostate function. Stress management represents another important factor. Chronic stress can influence inflammation throughout the body and may affect pelvic floor tension. Many men find that incorporating brief relaxation practices, such as deep breathing or mindfulness, alongside physical movement helps maximize benefits for prostate comfort. Sleep quality also appears to play a role in prostate health and symptom management. Establishing consistent sleep patterns and creating a sleep environment that minimizes disruptions may help improve both sleep quality and prostate-related symptoms. The morning movement routine we've discussed may itself contribute to better sleep by promoting healthier physical function throughout the day. For men taking medications for prostate conditions, it's worth noting that this movement routine may complement pharmaceutical approaches. Some men report that regular movement helps their medications work more effectively or allows them to maintain benefits with lower dosages, though any medication adjustments should always be made under medical supervision. It's also important to acknowledge that while many men report symptomatic improvements with consistent practice of this routine, individual responses vary based on specific prostate conditions, overall health status, and other factors. Some men notice significant changes in urinary frequency and comfort, while others experience more subtle benefits or primarily observe improvements in other aspects of well-being, such as energy and mobility. Michael, an 81-year-old with long-standing prostate issues, found that the routine helped him maintain function despite his condition. "At my age and with my medical history, I don't expect miracles," he explained. "But this simple morning routine has helped me maintain better function than many of my peers with similar conditions. My doctor is supportive of anything that keeps me active and engaged in my own health." For those who find it difficult to perform some of the standing components of this routine, due to balance or mobility concerns, modifications can make it accessible. The hip mobility exercises can be performed seated or lying down. The circulatory movements can be adapted to seated versions. Even the pelvic floor exercises can be done in various positions, seated, lying down, or standing, whatever works best for the individual. The key principle remains the same across all variations. Gentle, intentional movement that supports circulation, engages and relaxes the pelvic floor muscles, and promotes overall mobility in the pelvic region. These elements appear to be more important than the specific form of the exercises. Some men find it helpful to combine this morning movement routine with brief check-ins throughout the day. These might include periodic pelvic floor relaxation while sitting at a desk, gentle standing stretches during breaks, or mindful attention to posture and breathing. These brief practices can help maintain the benefits of the morning routine throughout the day. Thomas, a 70-year-old who implemented both the morning routine and periodic daytime check-ins, found this comprehensive approach particularly effective. "The morning routine set the foundation," he shared. "But I noticed even more improvement when I started doing quick pelvic floor relaxations a few times during the day, especially when sitting for long periods. It's like I was learning to let go of tension I didn't even realize I was holding." Some men wonder whether they should continue this routine if they're already experiencing prostate symptoms or have diagnosed conditions. In most cases, gentle movement may still offer potential benefits alongside appropriate medical care, though it's always important to discuss any new exercise program with healthcare providers. The emphasis on both engagement and release in the pelvic floor component may be particularly relevant for men already experiencing symptoms, as chronic tension patterns often develop in response to discomfort. It's worth noting that while this routine focuses specifically on movement patterns that may support prostate health, the potential benefits extend beyond the prostate itself. Many men report improvements in general mobility, energy levels, and even mood with consistent practice. These broader benefits may contribute to overall quality of life, which can be particularly meaningful for men dealing with the challenges of prostate conditions. So let's recap the 7-minute morning movement routine that research suggests may support prostate health in men over 60. Pelvic floor engagement and release. 2 to 3 minutes seated pelvic floor contractions and complete relaxation to develop both strength and the ability to release tension in these imp. Hip mobility for pelvic circulation. 2 to 3 minutes standing hip circles, knee to chest movements, and hip hinges to enhance blood flow to the pelvic region and release tension in surrounding tissues. Circulatory and anti-inflammatory movement, 2 to 3 minutes arm circles, torso rotations, and standing forward bend variations to promote overall circulation and potentially help moderate inflammatory processes. Ideally, this routine should be performed shortly after waking, before breakfast, when the body may be particularly responsive to movement after the overnight period of immobility. Consistency appears to be important, with benefits typically developing gradually over weeks or months of regular practice. Remember that while movement may help support prostate health, it's not a substitute for appropriate medical care. Regular checkups with healthcare providers remain essential for monitoring prostate health, particularly for men over 60. Any new or worsening symptoms should prompt a conversation with healthcare providers. The prostate health challenges that many men face with advancing age may not be entirely inevitable or untreatable. While certain changes do occur with aging, the degree of discomfort and functional impact can potentially be influenced by proactive measures like regular, targeted movement. By incorporating this simple 7-minute routine into your mornings, you may be taking a small but meaningful step toward supporting your prostate health and overall quality of life. If this information has been helpful to you, please consider sharing this video with others who might benefit. Many men suffer silently with prostate-related symptoms, unaware that simple movement practices might offer some support alongside appropriate medical care. Subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based approaches to healthy aging, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Each week, we explore different aspects of well-being for older adults, always focused on practical, accessible strategies backed by current understanding. And please leave a comment below sharing your own experiences with prostate health, or any questions you might have. I read every comment and value your input. Your feedback helps guide the topics we address in future videos. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dr. Rachel Thompson, wishing you health and vitality in your golden years. Until next time, take good care of yourself.